Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are enjoying learning a new language. So in this tutorial, I'm going to talk about while loops and do while loops. So what are while loops? So while loops are basically a set of instructions in C program that executes a set of codes continuously till the condition is true. So if we see this program on screen, printf 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and run this program. See the output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're written one after another. So basically, if we suppose one equal, like if we take an integer named int n, and if we say n is equals to 1, then basically 2 is n equals to n plus 1. That means we are increasing n by 1. And then 3 is again n equals to n plus 1. So to 1 to 5, we are increasing n continuously until we have our result here 5. So if you think about this program, basically if n is equals to 1, we are increasing n by 1 until n's value comes to 5. So if we try to take this program in a while loop, so while has a structure of course, a first bracket and then second bracket. So we have to write our condition between these first brackets and our statements between these second brackets. So our condition is when n gets equals to 5. So n is less than or equals to 5. Printf %d n. Printf and then n is equals to n plus 1. So here we have our condition and then our statement, and then we have our increment here. So the n equals to n plus 1, you have to use this kind of statements very randomly in C program. So actually there is another way to write this statement. You can write this like this. So this also means we are increasing n by 1. So if we run this program, see we have our previous result here. So what the computer is doing here, he's reading this part first of all. While n is less than or equals to 5, then it goes here where he has the instructions to follow. It prints %d, like it prints the value of n, and then it goes to this line. It increases n by 1, and then it goes back to all the way to here and verifies whether n is still less than or equals to 5. So then it again comes here, then here, and then again here. It will continue to do this until it gets until the condition here becomes false. Like if our n becomes 6, then it will stop working. So let's see what if we make this 6. Let's run. See, no result. So the computer sees the first line is false here. N is certainly not less than or not equal to 5. So it decides that this whole command is false. So it doesn't even give any output. So this is a very simple code in while loop. You can use while loop in different programs, different commands, etc. So while working with while loop, you have to be careful about an infinite loop. So you don't want to get stuck in an infinite loop. So what's an infinite loop? If we run this program by removing this part from here, see there's continuous 1 here, because in this case there is no like false statement here, While n is less than or equal to 5, we have declared n's value is 1. So obviously computer sees that this statement here is always true. N can never be greater than 5, so it just goes on and on and on, and this is called an infinite loop. This is quite an unfortunate error in programming language, so you will want to avoid this problem. Now let's go to another program. Let's say if n is less than or equals to 100, printf n and n plus plus. So if n is greater than 10, break. So you can see a new thing here, and that is break. So if you run this program now, you see the output. It prints out the numbers from 1 to 10. Even though we have given 100 in this condition, it breaks when it comes to 10. Why? Because of this break and this conditional statement. We have said if while n is less than or equals to 100, keep printing n and keep increasing n. But if n is greater than 10, then break. That means then stop. Don't work on that program anymore. So that's what our computer is doing here. He says that the n is less than 100. Okay, so it has increased n by 1, but when n reaches 11, it breaks because of this statement. So whenever you use break in an loop, it means that you are commanding the computer to stop working at that space. So this is one of the few things. Now let's try out another program with while. While n is less than 10 and n plus plus, if n's remainder of 2 is equals to 0, then continue. And if not, print. Now let's run this program here. 3579. Now, how did this happen? See what we gave instructions here. While n is less than 10, increase n by 1. Now if n's remainder of 2 is 0, then continue with the program. And if not, then print the number of n. So in this case, when computer reaches 1, then it sees this instruction here while n is less than 10. Okay, so n is less than 10, then it increases n by 1. So ends 2. If n by 2's remainder is 0, then continue. So 2 by 2's remainder is obviously 0, so it continues the program and then it reaches all over here again, avoiding this program. So then it says that while n is less than 10, 2 is less than 10, then it increases 2 by 3. And then if 3's 2 remainder is 0, now, if we divide 3 by 2, it will not get a remainder of 0. So, the computer cannot continue the program from here, so it breaks. And then it comes to this statement, printf. So, it prints the number 3 there, and if odd number. So, then you get back to the while loop, and then it works continuously until n is 11. Now, since we have given the increment sign before the statement, so they have ignored 1 from here. See, if you run the program, you can't see 1 here because we have given this increment instruction first head and then printf in the last. So this is how this program works, and this is pretty much everything about while loops. Now, you have to use while loop quite randomly in your programs. So, We're gonna see what else we can do with while loops in future. Uh, right now we're gonna go to do while loops. So do while loop is basically what while loop does, but the difference is we give the condition in the last and the statement before. So let's write our previous program in do while loop. So let's remove this while n is less than equals to 5. Print f percent n plus. So this is the program written in while. Like if we divide this into while, the structure will slightly change. All we have to do is add a do before the statement and while at the end of the program, and then a semicolon after while. So the difference between while and do while is while first checks the condition and then works on the statements. But in do while, computer first does the instructions of statements and then goes to check the instruction. So if you run this program now, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we change the 1 here to 6 and then run the program, you'll see the result 6 here, even though n is greater than 5. So obviously n has gotten bigger than 5, so it stops there. It doesn't print a 7, 8, so it's just stopped there. So this is how while loops and do while loops work. So I hope you understand, but you have to practice them a lot to get a good grip on them. So this is all for today. In my next video, I'm going to talk about for loops. So till then, goodbye and thank you very much for watching the video. I hope it helped you. Thank you.